We're going to show the installation of this harness that we made for installing on the tip sensor, which we installed on the early model Marelli conversions. This particular cycle is a 1997 Evo. What we're going to do is we made a harness up to install that. So what we're going to do is feed it in front of the battery, like so, down through a passage. You may have to remove this connector from the cruise control module to gain access. You can see that connector right there. There we go. And once you have it pulled through there, you can come over here and plug it into the tip sensor. Okay, that's plugged in. I'm going to plug this back in through cruise control. Now, this wire here is going to go onto the ECM, and we'll come back to this shortly. So right here where we are in front of the battery is we're going to grab our power and ground signal from the accessory plug. And then this is going to plug in for the tip sensor. Again, this is going to supply ground to the tip sensor and switch power to it. Now we're going to show the connection of the rest of the harness from the tip sensor. This wire is going to continue on to the ECM to pin 7. This is going to be the signal wire. So what we're going to do is in front of the battery, we're going to fish the wire to this location here. Use a tool. I use a zip tie, about 5/16 of an inch thick, and I drill a little hole in the end of it so that way I can feed the wire through it, and then I can just pull the wire like so. Okay. We're going to use this again here in a second. So ultimately what we're going to do is there's a harness here from the factory with a sheathing on it that's going to run down through here, through here, through here, and up to the ECM connector. And we're going to fish this wire through that sheathing with this zip tie. But what we're going to do, we're going to do it in 2 stages. We're going to feed the zip tie through here, like so, until it comes out up here. And you see the zip tie. And of course, like we did before, we're going to feed this wire through the zip tie. And I'm going to try to do this without taping it. And then I'm going to pull the zip tie. And as you can see, it pulls the wire right through the sheathing. That easy. All right, now I've already undone this. So before we fool with the connector on the ECM, we want to make sure that we remove the ECM fuse. So that way the ECM is not powered. We're going to undo the connector. We're going to take a number 1 Phillips, and we're going to remove this Phillips screw, which holds the connector together. And once that screw is removed, you can take and remove that like so. Sometimes you have a zip tie around here, you have to cut that. Now, inside, once the terminal's opened up, or the connector, you can remove these locks. These hold the pins in place. They're also snapped in place, but this also is a positive reinforcement to make sure that they don't back out. So you have 1 on each side. This one fell out. Now we're going to connect this to pin 7. So before we do that, we got to feed it through the harness again. So we're going to take a little tool here, a zip tie, and we're going to feed it through the sheathing of the harness until it comes out here. Again, we're going to stick the wire through the hole in my zip tie, like so. And we're going to pull it through again. We did. We're going to take and connect this wire or put it in pin location 7. You'll notice on this connector, you can see that there are numbers. On this side, it's 19 to 35. And on the other side, it's going to be 1 to 18. And of course, there's 7 there, which is vacant. That location is where we're going to put this wire. And we're going to look at the orientation of the connector. So it's going to have to go in like so. And you'll feel it snap in place. And that's installed. We'll push a little bit of the excess wire back up in there like so. Tuck it down so everything will go back together proper. We're going to install these positive locks for the terminals on both sides. And then we're going to slide that, line them up and slide those in place. The insulation. Okay. Now we're going to take our Phillips head screw and our number 1 Phillips. Reinstall that. This holds the connector together. And you're done. Now you can just connect this back to the ECM. Like so. Once you've completed this process, don't forget to put in your ECM fuse. And now you've run the wire to the ECM for the signal wire for the tip sensor. Thank you.